Yeah, salute to all my twins. You already know what's popping. Miko Turtle, the big headed alchemist, host of Atlantis Indigenous Radio, every Thursday, 9 p.m., exclusively right here on the great network of Too Raw for TV.tv. Make sure you get your subscription right now. Get a paid subscription, support what we're doing. Because we looking to do for self, like we building on tonight, man. I'm gonna get straight into the topic real quick. Tonight we honoring we honoring the legendary, never scary father-in-law, founder of the 5% Nation of Gods and Earth, as well as Master Farad Muhammad, founder of the Nation of Islam. Salute to the guys. So the title of tonight, y'all know, man, exclusively here on Atlantis Indigenous Radio, we build on the true element of AI taking over. This is another element of it. And it's another element, whether original people know it or not, or your ancestral inheritance. Yes, Allah intelligence, right? Divine guidance, Mahdi. Withdrawal from colonial matrix. What the hell is you talking about? For those of y'all that don't understand, Mahdi, I want to build on that term, right? That is a term within the system that's known of as Islam today, as meaning the self-guided one, dealing with savior frequency that each of us have, right? It was applied to many great al-Salam, or what you know of as Islamic figures today. But most relevant to us as original people over here is the one and only Master Farad Muhammad. So I want to go right into the video, video A, and we started off 15 minutes, but we're gonna be going in on the origins of the brother who started it all, man, as far as the Nation of Islam pantheon. And like y'all know, here on Atlantis Indigenous Radio, we go into how the Moorish movement was pivotal in the whole creation of the Nation of Islam. Let's get it.
My father was the first member and was the first one to hear about Islam. He met Abdul Muhammad, the representative of Master Farad Muhammad, in the alley. And when he met him, and Abdul answered all of his questions right there in the alley, working. My father was working. He had stopped preaching, and he was working for the city, cleaning up the rubbish in the alleys. And that's where Abdul stopped and talked to him, Abdul Muhammad. And he did. And my father asked him, where was the place at? So he would like to hear that man. And he told him. So my brother Johnny, he set out to find out the address where it was at while my father was working. And when he found it, they went to this place in a house, and there he come back and told my father that he found the address. And then my brother Elijah Muhammad and my brother Wali Muhammad and Johnny, my father, they went to hear Master Farad. And that's the way he would come into the Temple of Islam by my father, because they would sit on every Saturday and they would talk about what they had learned by meeting Master Farad and Abdul Muhammad.
One day our father told us that he received some information and teachings from his friend, Brother Abdul Muhammad, who told him that Mr. W.D. Farad has taught him and gave him that name after he was known by his slave name Brown. Brown himself was connected with the Moorish American movement started by Noble Drew Ali. Abdul Muhammad joined the movement under the name Brown L. Abdul Muhammad told my father what Mr. W.D. Farad was teaching, and my father told me. When I heard it, I told my father, "I like to hear that man." I said, "That is good what Abdul Muhammad told you." That was in the spring of 1931. I asked my father about Abdul Muhammad, and he told me where that man lives, and therefore we went, my brother and I, to find Abdul Muhammad. We had visited Abdul Muhammad in his house, me and my older brother, for several weeks, and he was telling us what he had been taught. Then we visited the place where Mr. W.D. Farad was teaching. It was a basement. I was not able to get into the basement because it was so crowded that I had no way to get in. But I heard him. He was speaking on Hastings Street, around 3408 Hastings, and I was not able to hear him well here too, because it was so crowded, thousands of people listening to him. After the meeting was over, I was sitting down and thought about the teachings. They did me so much good just to think about them. I waited after the second meeting, so I might have a turn to meet him. So we lined up to go by and shake hands with him, because he was shaking hands with us all. And when I got to him, I shaked my hands with him and told him that I recognized who he is, and he held his head down close to my face, and he said to me, "Yes, brother." I said,
Yeah, man. Salute to the guy, Master Farad Muhammad, man. I know a lot of let's just say goofies, like to disrespect Master Farad Muhammad, saying that he was some white boy, some Arab, but no white man or Arab will come and teach you that you are Allah. Ain't no fucking white man or Arab gonna ever do no shit like that. He had a black father and what we know of as a pilgrim mother. That made him an original man. Not only that, genetic wise, his knowledge on what he was teaching, the original man being God and the white man being devil, and we already broke down how that's still relevant and how that's still true to this day. White is a fucking gang. I don't give a fuck if you in original man or original woman claiming to be with colonizers. You are Yakubian. You are Shaitan devil. Fuck you. So white, if you rolling with the white gang today, you are a fucking Shaitan devil. So his teachings alone, the knowledge that he came to give our people, slap your dumb ass self for anybody that's saying that he was some white boy or Arab. No, a white boy or Arab would not teach you no shit like that, and they never taught you shit like that. You see Negroes that's Sunni or Sunni or so-called Orthodox Islam today, growing their beards and either dyeing it red or orange. Shout out to Prophet Robert Palmetto Star. He did it because of Malcolm X, not because he's trying to be no fucking Arab. So salute to the guy for him on that. But a lot of goofy black colonialized or Arabized, because Arabism, colonialism, same shit. They do that to be like a fucking Arab because they have no fucking knowledge of self. So don't ever disrespect the Master Farad and call him no fucking white boy or Arab. He was not that. He was an original man that came over here with a great mission to give back to our people. And I also wanted to show that clip. I told y'all, what the fuck is y'all playing with? He learned all of this shit from Moorish science. Salute to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. When did Master Farad Muhammad come on the scene? 1930. right after Prophet Noble Ali got assassinated. Come on, man. Listen, the original starting of what's known of as Islam today, we call it Al-Salam. It was a divine code that Saracens, or what we know of as Moors today, created at the time that they created that. Master Farad learned his knowledge from Moorish science. I can't front on that part. And y'all have to understand why at times it be conflict where Nation of Islam and Moorish science be like, yo, what the fuck? Y'all ain't giving us our props. Because yes, his father, listen, they top minister was Brown L. Salute to Browns and L's. That's literally, I got Brown L up in my bloodline. That's same James Brown as indigenous bloodline, etc. It's all that connection, right? But that brother was Master Farad Muhammad's top minister. You got to remember when Prophet Noble Ali transitioned, a lot of the temple teaching got segmented into other things. I love all of them. I'm not like some of the MSTA that's like angry at Master Farad and Elijah for not acknowledging. I think Elijah fucked up just all the way trill by not incorporating the Moorish heritage, because that's the only thing that truly, to me, that gives Islam substance, or what we know of as Islam today. Because again, it was a divine code, al-Salam, a code of peace amongst original men, and us conquering and ruling being like the Quran say, the vicegerent, the sort of like what the Pope is, you know, the intercessor of the creator on this planet, what they would call Allah intelligence. That's why Master Farad came back. Hey man, y'all Allah, what the fuck is y'all doing? Like, yo, this pilgrim is a fucking devil. You know, so salute to the guy. He the foundation of the pantheon of Nation of Islam. And all of it tied back to the Moorish science, because again, your Moorish ancestries is the one. There's no fucking religion on this planet, none, that was not created by original people. If you're an original man and an original woman and you don't fucking understand that, no disrespect, I just say you ignorant. You ignorant. You need to understand that, so you don't have colonizers utilizing their religion to tear your ass out the frame, like pilgrims that call themselves Jews do, like other groups, Christians, etc. do. Arabism, Islam does. Got you practicing a fake Ramadan right now. Majority of black Muslims, and majority of Muslims are black. That's why this is important too. Like you're gonna have to deal with your people's religions, and get them back in the framework of controlling those structures and what they originally started as. Let's go to video number 1, man, because we got to deal with Father Allah, the legendary Never Scary. All right, Master Farad too. He left during he only did like 3 years teaching, and Elijah Muhammad was his top minister after he transitioned. But y'all see who was the first minister that he took was who he was with in the temple, Moor Science Temple, Moor. That's why he even on the thing, the brother gave him his credit. You know, he was in the temple. He had that tar bush, or what y'all call the fez today, and that's what helped establish. That's the real connection between nation and Moor science. So you know that always needs to be put to the forefront. So is in no petty beefs need to be going on. We don't need to do that. That's foolish on either end. Yeah, we got to put to the forefront and give salutes to the prophet.
The leader of the 5% Nation is Clarence.
Yeah, it was called Clarence 13X when he was a member in the Mars. He used to be a student minister under Malcolm X and a lieutenant in the FOI.
And you met him.
I was taught by him.
You was taught directly under
Directly. He saved me from the police a week before Thanksgiving 1964. I stole a hat out of Lee's Stetson store, a cashmere hat. At the time, it cost $20 and they call it a Fletcher.
Mm-hmm.
And I was running down 125th Street, turned the corner at 7th Avenue, running uptown, going across 126th Street. And he was in the Worldworth bar, and he came out and he stopped the police from shooting me in the back or whatever the case may be, because he told the police, I didn't hear him, but I looked back and seen him tell the police he couldn't run on his sidewalk chasing me. And the police went in the street against traffic. Traffic was going downtown. I was running uptown, and the police just, fuck him. And I got away. And I came back and thanked the man who did that. And when I came back to thank him the next day, he wasn't on the corner in front of the Worldworth bar on 126th Street. He was on 127th Street and 7th Avenue. And I thanked him by voicing it. Thank you. You know, and he winked at me and smiled. But he had a cipher around him, and he was building. And what he was saying is what I was feeling.
Mm.
And I was with him ever since then.
What type of man was he? Describe him.
I describe him as a father who loved his children. That's the best way I could describe him. And not only did we call him the father, because that's, as a young 16-year-old youth, the image that he projected, but he was a seriously courageous man. He the only man that I knew that his brothers was being held in the basement on 127th Street at gunpoint. And he was told that they was being held until he come down there because they wanted to see him. And instead of him going to get a gun or running like a coward and hide, he immediately went in the basement to face his would-be assassins. That's what kind of courage he had. And he went down there and got shot and left for dead. When he could have ran, or he could have ran and got a gun and then went down there and fought. He was a military man. He was a veteran of the Korean War, and he seen war. He walked on the dead before. You know, he walked over minefields, as he told me. He had all kind of courageous medals from the Korean War. But he was really, really, really courageous. And he came to save his people, more specifically the young. And that's what he did. That's what kind of man he was. And he treated me, you know, with a lot.
Yeah. So that was a brother that, as you heard, was building on the great legacy of Father Allah, also known as Clarence 13X, who I'm a back up and then I'm gonna come back to him because I want to say some more. So, man, it's so deep on when you make the connection. For those of y'all that's like, my connection to all of this is I ain't grew up in a Christian household. So my pops originally joined the Nation of Islam under the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. You know, many of us, you know, consider that like the original like Islam, Nation of Islam, you know, the first phase, because Master Farad was only around for like 3 years teaching in the context of Nation of Islam. I just told y'all he was definitely in that Moorish Science Temple prior to that, in dealing with the Moors prior to that, right? And where he got that knowledge base. Trust that the Moors also had teachings of Yaqub too in the temple. It's deep. We're gonna get into that towards the end as well. So once Elijah took over, and it's well known that Elijah was kind of, you know, moving around, some would say on the run from even his own relatives, the conflict. That conflict dealt with Moorish teachings and it being transitioned over into Nation of Islam. It go deep, man. But like I said, I don't promote us bickering or beefing with one another. We are a much powerful force together as original people, and we need to honor our goats, the legends, and just learn from, you know, the eras. You know, I'm gonna salute all my teachers, whether I like them or not, or whether we get along or whatever the fuck, man. we got to honor each other as original people, and in particularly as original men. We the natural leaders of this planet. So Master Farad, after he left, he only taught in the nation for about nations teaching about like 3 years, and Elijah took over. And even originally, you can see Elijah with that Fed zone, right? And it's even a connection with Japan. That is where the star and crescent, which that star is a Al-Zuhara or a Venusian symbol. It's a divine feminine frequency, the moon and the pentagram. In that connection go deep. It go deeper than we are the first to create civilizations all over this planet, and influence this planet. So samurais, deep indigenous Japanese culture, that's us. They any of them that's honorable will always honor us. So that's we get into that at another time, but that was a Japanese connection. But all right, so boom, from Elijah taking over teaching, man, Elijah did some amazing things when he took over teaching. With that do for self, that wasn't even from Master Farad per se, just the concept per se. It was a Morris teaching that encompasses do for self, but Elijah came up with some great concepts himself after teaching over the years. And one of his great ministers that got overlooked, that the reason why we got the knowledge today, because remember, listen, the temple, the Nation of Islam temples were like sacred societies. I won't say secret societies, because most secret societies are pathogenic today, are parasitic today. But sacred societies, our ancestors created, and within sacred societies, you had to be within the dojo, within the temple, to really learn the knowledge like that. If you wasn't divinely initiated, then hell, you wasn't getting it like that. And rightfully so, man. Aspects of things always need to stay sacred, but I understand with like Father Allah energy, man, that is so beautiful. It needs to always be balanced out, where he gave it to what? The youth. The brother told you, man, he was 16, man, getting that knowledge itself. Oh shit, we Allah. You feel what I'm saying? Universal teachings of supreme wisdom. You feel what I'm saying? Because Father Allah took the teachings outside of the temple and gave it to the people, and particularly the children, and particularly the youth, because he had some disagreements within the temple. He always respected people. Put out the elders of the 5%. Yeah, it's gonna be always some conflict when things like that happen. This is what it is. Like, hey man, this is a temple structure. We ain't supposed to take it out and just give it to them. Yeah, they're gonna conflict with you. So it was some conflict early on, but it was always mutual respect. And 5%, you really, man, especially after Elijah kind of transition, man, 5% really put the Nation of Islam on the map. And they the ones who gave us all of this guidance talk today. We wouldn't have got that in the streets if it wasn't for Father Allah taking that out the temple and giving it to our people, man, in the hoods, and coming and giving that to the youth. And most of your hip hop influence is the 5% God bodies, the nation of the 5% nation of gods and earths, right? And Nuwabian. Salute to Dr. York, free Dr. York. Because they lied on that brother. Persecution of the black man penis. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it. They lied on that brother. But it's a lot of Nuwabian and 5% out of the conscious realm, to me, that hip hop incorporated, right? So with you just look up all the 5% rappers, right? So that was key. We're really helping our people elevate. Play video number 2. Video number 2. I think that, yeah. And should start at 4 or something. But yeah, that was the greatness of what Father Allah came with. He taught the teachings. He put his he put his understanding to it. as well. His understanding and his unique organization that he created outside of that was 5%. And then they just went with Nation of Gods and Earth. I think they more so just go by Nation of Gods and Earth, but they always gonna have that 5% element with them. And again, that 5 element strongly dealing with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, as we naturally learn as Morris principles, dealing with that pentagram. So and within those teachings is where you get poor righteous teachings, poor righteous teachers. Now, the poor POOR trash. Don't consider yourself that. I like what one of the 5%. One of the sisters, the Earth that you about to hear,
to grow up in an Afro-centered house.
Yeah.
Well, I want to preface first that I grew up in a very unique house, just like all Black people, not a monolith, all Christians, not a monolith. The nation is not a monolith. So I recognize how different my household may be different from others that are in the nation. My father, God rest his soul, he was a very unique, brilliant individual, Vietnam veteran. So a lot of the things that we did were rooted in that as well. So it was very much pro-Black, obviously. If you are familiar with the Nation of Gods and Earths and 5%ers, the Black man is God, so that's how I was raised. It was very much empowering, and it goes to show even in the names that he chose. And I have to shout out my mother as well, because she's also a very brilliant and unique woman as well. So growing up in such a big family, because my mother gave my father 9 children, right? So we grew up in this big family. My father has us in the mornings doing exercises, that goes to show even from his military background too, as well. With him being so brilliant and eclectic, he learned a lot of different schools of faith and different lifestyles before he decided to join the nation as well. So we always had that aspect of him too. So he was even naming me Empress Kwame. Growing up, I always thought Empress was just like an Asian queen or something like that. Goes to show, like, he was so ahead of his time. Now I'm learning the tarot. I'm like, oh, that's the Empress too. So it's just like, he always was very intentional. So growing up, it was like, we saw the beauty in our melanin, and we were rocking 3/4, so it was covered from head to toe. As a teenager, as a young girl, did not like that. Obviously, we were obviously.
Shout out to the beautiful chocolate goddess, man. Since I grew up with my mom, who first came into consciousness through Sufi Islam. So Sufism go deep. That they call that the mysticism of Islam, right? That was the Saracen or Moorish order that originally created Al-Islam, or what y'all know of as Islam today. So you'll find in that them dealing with what you consider, I call it all alchemy, but people will possibly say sorcery or magic, right? They dealt with medallions, spells, all of that type of stuff. That's Sufism. They would say that it was a order that stemmed from ancient Tamaray. Remember, these were original people. All original people have predecessor foreparents that they learn their system from. What do you think? These religions aren't the same shit? I told you, all of these religions come from my ancestors creating divine codes that later on got transferred into what you see today as religions, and many of these religions are conquered by your opposition today. So I want to go into and I like to play that just to show the divine balance of the power in teaching your women knowledge of self. That shit is so beautiful, man. That sister was so beautiful, man. Beyond her physical beauty, it is the intelligence of original women that understand what the black man is God. Stop playing. And hey, Father-in-law said something else that is controversial today. He said the black woman is secondary, most necessary. Damn. You know, a lot of sisters today would take offense to that. But that is a code that every original man should stay on. And I'm gonna give y'all a greater understanding of that. So when you say the black woman is secondary, most necessary, salute the father-in-law. He was correct. Every original man is naturally indigenous poly. So when you understand that on a holistic level, your first wife, your first woman is your mission and purpose, regardless of whether you just have one physical woman in the presence. So when I internalize that divine wisdom that Father-in-law came with, every original woman is secondary, most necessary. Yeah, and she's joining a divine union of me already being married to my motherfucking mission and purpose. Come on, wisdom. Supreme wisdom, goddammit. Salute to the God, man. Salute to Father-in-law. And teaching the beautiful chocolate goddesses that they are earth, terra. God does not manifest himself physically as we know it without planetary space. You feel what I'm saying? That divine feminine frequency, man. Secondary, most necessary, man. Most necessary. You cannot create without her. You must teach her. You are a fucking 85% deaf, dumb, and blind motherfucker if you ain't teaching your woman. You's a goddamn, you 85. Whether you know it or not. We all experience being 85. And that's a concept from the nation of gods and earth. The 5% being the righteous teachers. The only way you pour, like the sister built on in that interview, is P-O-U-R. You pouring out knowledge and wisdom because we wealthy. We not no fucking P-O-O-R. Whoever introduced that aspect, trash. And give a fuck who introduced it. Those toss that shit in the trash. We are wealthy on every aspect. Genetically, we are the most wealthy within this realm. Melanin dominant, right? And physically, we are too. It's just a matter of remembering that shit and demanding what is rightfully ours, right? Heirs to the throne. You feel me? Play video, the last video. So that's important, man. Teaching our women their greatness. And Father-in-law did that. He did that. Damn right he did that. Might be controversial on some of his teachings, but that's just because of y'all lack of understanding. That's all the way true. Every original man should be married to his fucking mission. You don't got no motherfucking God if he ain't. Damn right, I said it. He deaf, dumb, and fucking blind. 85%. And yes, secondary, most necessary. Your twin is most necessary. You're not building without your twin. Your chocolate goddess twin. Because, you know, the YNs of today, young Nagas of today, most just refer to they brothers as they twin. But in ancient times, we understood the divine feminine frequency. That's where they stole twin flame. Y'all already know we done built on that prior shows as well. And, you know, you have a divine brotherhood. Yeah. Go to like 9, I think it's like, I put the time frame up in there.
As fast. The
presentation, y'all practicing Ramadan during the wrong time.
For you to get an opportunity to ask questions. Any evidence to controvert what we have been saying. All the way down to the Manzil calendars, the Sidral calendars, etc. The divination systems that the Moors took back to the East after learning them here. Then the Catholics came in the 1500s and learned the same thing. Today you call it cartomancy and tarot. It is actually a She, Olmec Mayan calendar system called the Tune calendar system in the Zulukin. We are the practitioners of that system today. It is an indigenous American system. So the world is not what people have made you believe it was. The world was very cosmopolitan. People interacted for thousands of years before Columbus ever got here. And you just need material. You need books. You need literature. You need education to help you with that story. Because if you don't get it, you'll never understand exactly what we're saying. I'm pulling out some more notes. And what we're saying in these fields is super important. Super, super important. All right. So here we are. We are here to talk about heritage, history, all of those things. And forgive me, I have not had food all day. We're going to talk about the fasting, how to perform the fasting, the prayers, why they're important, and the time period. The time period is the most sacred cycle in the year. And if you take advantage of the time period in the sense of your awareness of what to do, what to focus on, you set your rhythm for all of the rest of the year. Not only that, we're going into some very other controversial subjects. Like, where did Christmas come from? Where did the use of red and green colors come from in Christmas? Where did the concept of a Christmas tree come from? How is that tied to Sidrat al-Muntaha? In the same surah that I'm saying marks the Sidral starbase calculations for Ramadan. What about New Year's? Y'all going to drop the ball? Did you know that the Moors had New Year's as a holy day? It's in the Quran. And the Masons, if you want to use that term, we can use that term. That's a good term to use. Not as academic when I get down to the details, but fraternal brotherhoods of Eurasians. They stole the whole thing, all the way down to Thanksgiving and what this time period, why we're celebrating things from an indigenous perspective here in the America.
Yeah, man. Shout out to another one of my teachers, man, Dr. Ali Muhammad, for really dropping the knowledge on indigenous Moorish inheritance. He was speaking on the Hijra calendar and how the Arabs do what most Muslims practice today. They're practicing Ramadan today off. The brother already wrote a whole dissertation, a whole book on that. I think it's called Lost Pages of Islam. He just did a third volume of that. And this the key thing, man, to understand what all of this stuff, right? You need to understand the aspect of your inheritance is going to be dealing with they call them the Muslim and Christian crusades. The interesting thing too, though, is that, when we first heard these from early Moorish teachers, salute to Asir the Duke of Tears, that the original Holy Roman Empire was melanin dominant. So yeah, man, all of this shit come from us, man. And for original men that you were born into families that were either Christian or Muslim, take this motherfucking shit back, man. Take this motherfucking shit back. In the context of, you don't have to be a Muslim or a Christian. I don't give a fuck. I do not give a flying fuck. But you need to be in your divine mission and purpose and understand you need to create a divine code right here, right now. Do you understand that? And you don't need to be afraid and running from aspects of your inheritance. Ain't no fucking pilgrim that called this. That's why, hey, y'all don't even know. All right, prior to Prophet Noble Jew Ali, you had Rabbi Josiah Ford in the Morris Zionist Jews. You think a fucking cracker, a fucking colonizer, a fucking pilgrim is a goddamn Jew. I call them pilgrims that call themselves fucking Jews. But while they kicking your motherfucking ass and taking your symbols, 6-pointed stars, etc., and just whooping your ass with that shit. Learn who the fuck you are as an original man. Stop following fucking Arab cultures. Fuck the goddamn. You don't see me look like a no motherfucking Arab. You don't see me talk about no Arab shit. Fuck the motherfucking Arab. The Quran said the motherfucking Arab is the most ignorant motherfucker. Back then. Back then, man. You feel me? The greatest hypocrites. And they still fucking to this day come in your community, sell you fucking pork, sell you fucking drugs, all of this. It didn't call you what's that fucking word they use? I think it's kafir. They call you all type of disbelievers and shit. So you gotta be on your deen, that's on your judgment. Aspect of deen don't just mean way of life, it means your judgment. So create your own ummah, that means your divine community amongst you and your people. That's a divine code for you and your people. In Allah intelligence, man, our ancestors came back to give us the knowledge of us being creator. So we must create as creators and not be subject to colonial jurisdiction. That's why I said withdrawing from colonial matrix, colonial society. Create your own ummah that's under Allah you trust, and you create indigenous family trust. Utilize religion. I want y'all to understand this, because some conscious people, to me, y'all like babies in fucking knowledge. We don't deal with religion, but you deal with new age fucking spirituality. I deal with any of that shit and utilize it for the benefit of the sovereignty of my fucking empire. So remember, all of that shit can be a trap. Most people with that new age spirituality, I'm gonna do a whole show breaking that shit down. But we already built on some of that with Madame Blavatsky and with Pascal Beverly Randolph is coming with. Salute to the guy Pascal Beverly Randolph. So make sure y'all check out all the old episodes. And the key thing is creating your own indigenous family trust under your divine code, your divine culture, and building greatness like that. So don't shy away from any great thing that you see them tie Islam onto, or even the Coptic Christianity or the Moorish Jews of the past, etc. Understand all of this aspect is your inheritance. It got distorted today, but you still can utilize and empower yourself. If you were Orthodox Muslim and I offended you, rightfully so, man. I still love you as an original man. I'm glad I offended you. Do the knowledge, prove me wrong. Do the knowledge. You all off. You following Arabism. Yeah. So the key thing is just creating your own indigenous family trust. If you do not know how to do that, if you do not know how to use religion, because all religion is like you understanding that you got a divine code, you politicize it. Religion is a politicizing a business aspect. That's why people operate under religion way better than you. People that call themselves Jews got Israel. Your black ass ain't welcome in Israel. And if you is, you're going to be under their jurisdiction. Yeah, you don't like religion because you've been given Christianity and Islam. And the people that you've been giving it from is Negroes that are under colonial rule. 501c3s, goofies. You feel me? They're not like Master Farad. They're not like Prophet Noble Jew Ali. They're not like Elijah Muhammad. They're not like Father Allah. You know, the legends that came to give us back our inheritance as original people. So keep that in mind, that you have the power right now through Allah intelligence. Allah just deal with, as they say, source energy. So we know we source energy. And that's important for you to establish your own today. Make sure you planting your own food. Damn, simple. Do for self. Vote for self within Atlantis Indigenous Society. You should already be starting the process of planting your spring gardens. I just planted some date seeds just because I have, private classes where amongst the Ummah we build on stuff like this, but dates are easy as fuck to grow. And most dates are so associated with Islam because most of them break their fast off dates and stuff like that. It's super easy to grow. Now, of course, it takes a lot of maintenance if you're not in the tropical area to keep that going. But just be up on your knowledge of self, love of self, build your own, man. It's a reason why colonizers like got two terrorists that they always go against. That's blackness, any sort of blackness, and Islam. Let's be honest, it's Islam too. Because like the Ku Klux Klan said, Islam is a nigger religion. You feel me? But to be honest, all of these religions is a nigger created them, or Naga. You feel me? So understand your divine inheritance and embody that greatness now. Again, if you do not know, if you an ignorant original man, that 85%, you don't know how to create your own indigenous family trust, hit me up, man. Because all of us need to be on point like that. Like straight up, that's something simple. Don't let the colonizers control shit that you got going on. Detox from colonial matrix, colonial society. Create your own. So you can hit me up on Instagram. That's on Instagram is the Big Headed Alchemist. You see it on the screen. That's Turtle, the Big Headed Alchemist. You will see me doing the handstands. That's what my energy is put towards. I have health classes that we teaching. I do want to make this announcement. My cousin, shout out to my cousin, man. She is pregnant, and I was angry at her because she just now wanting to learn about health and wellness. Now that she fucking pregnant. I be hating that shit, man. I be wanting the chocolate goddesses to be on, especially the health and wellness, because when they healthy, oh my goodness, man, they produce greatness. So for any of the sisters that's dealing with pregnancy or that are just wanting to know more about health and wellness, hit me up personally. We have female classes. I'm gonna be focusing more on because she like, I want to detox and all that little stuff. Now I'm like, all right, it's not gonna be the same. So and she was, a lot of questions on health, health during pregnancy. So we dealing with all of that. We do not discriminate. I'm not no conscious Negro where I'm just no vegan or plant-based. We deal with health and wellness, not that bullshit. Because that's a religion as well. I deal with health and wellness. So if you eat meat, I can show you how to eat healthy indigenous meat. If you are a vegan or vegetarian, you damn sure still need knowledge on how to make sure you get all of the nutritional requirements that you're going to need without consuming the indigenous healthy meats that indigenous peoples and indigenous societies still consume to this day and been consuming for eons. So that is going to be key. And of course, all the brothers, man, we got to stay strong, man. You see that she said her father had her doing what? You should have your woman and your family on code. They should all be training healthy. Salute to the Nation of Islam too for incorporating that. So definitely hit me up on here too. Comment on here. I need y'all commenting and being more active here. Comment, get on me. Hey, get at me if you don't agree with something, or give me more props on what you love about it too. Right here on TooRawForTV.tv. You can reach me at Miko Turtle, the Big Headed Alchemist. That's MIKKO Turtle, the Big Headed Alchemist. So salute to the fam. And this is just a part one of plenty more series we're gonna be going into our inheritance dealing with the Islam aspect, and more. We're gonna go into the Christian aspect of where that come from, the Jewish aspect of where that come from too. I'm not playing with people. We're gonna understand that all of this shit is ours, and we're gonna take this shit back. So salute to the fam, and make sure y'all tune into Too Raw for TV, the podcast. Next is gonna be off the chain, man. He dealing with monogamy and polygyny. God damn it, which one is better? Palmetto Star go in, and it's gonna be off the chain. He coming up 11 p.m. next. So salute to the fam. Be wise, more love.